What makes a dwarf planet a trans-Neptunian object? Imagine looking out into the night sky and spotting a tiny, icy world far beyond the planets we know. Some of these objects are called dwarf planets, but what makes them special? Well, if a dwarf planet orbits the Sun beyond Neptune, the eighth planet, it is called a trans-Neptunian object. That means it lives in the outer regions of our solar system, like the Kuiper belt or scattered disk. These areas are filled with icy bodies and leftover debris from the solar system's formation. To be a dwarf planet, an object must meet a few key rules. First, it has to orbit the Sun. Second, its own gravity must pull it into a nearly round shape, which is called hydrostatic equilibrium. This means the object is big enough for gravity to shape it into a sphere. Third, it must not have cleared its orbital neighborhood of other objects. And like planets, dwarf planets share their space with similar-sized bodies. When a dwarf planet is located beyond Neptune's orbit, it fits into the category of trans-Neptunian objects. Pluto is a famous example, along with Eris, Haumea, and Makemake. These bodies are mostly made of ice and rock, and they orbit in the Kuiper belt, which stretches from about 30 to 55 astronomical units from the Sun. An astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the Sun, roughly 150 million kilometers. It's important to note that not all dwarf planets are trans-Neptunian objects. For example, Ceres is a dwarf planet but orbits within the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Its location inside the asteroid belt means it is not considered a trans-Neptunian object. Understanding these objects helps scientists learn about how our solar system formed and changed over billions of years. Studying distant bodies like Pluto and Eris can give clues about the early days of our cosmic neighborhood. Recognizing the difference between a dwarf planet and a trans-Neptunian object helps us organize and classify the many strange and fascinating worlds orbiting our Sun. So, in simple terms, a dwarf planet becomes a trans-Neptunian object because it orbits the Sun beyond Neptune and has the shape and orbital characteristics of a dwarf planet. This classification helps scientists focus their research on the most distant and mysterious parts of our solar system.